Genius that is, let's say, an average of $1. So it's a huge deal. Now, this huge deal, you might think like, any problems you think of, let me just promise you they're solved. So if you have any questions on this, please post the questions into Telegram, and I'd love to answer these. Oh, let me see something here for that. I'm just going to let you all know in the room as well. Okay. All right, so the stability pool, so now a lot of benefits happen from this. One, there's now like $5 million of liquidity available. But what about this extra Genius supply? Isn't that going to be a problem? Or what about these extra rewards and inflation, the 4 point whatever percent per year? Isn't that going to become a problem? No, because this Genius is considered debt. So it's a long story, but basically, instead of it becoming a problem, it becomes more of a solution. And so the stability pool, it'll tell you, hey, give me collateral, and I will give you Genius in the form of a miner. So, you're mining with it. You can't just dump it on the market. And so basically, you get a better deal for your Genius miner. And your rewards that you get are Genius rewards. And when you're miner, there's a different rule. You're going to love to see this in the white paper. But you can't end a miner early if it is collateralized. And other cool stuff. So there's an incentive for people to put collateral into the stability pool. And there's an algorithm, very simple algorithm, that moves the price of what people can buy this Genius for, or how much Genius they get by putting collateral into the stability pool. And one of the functions of that is, if there's extra selling pressure on the open market, people are selling Genius, they can also use the stability pool to gain that value. But here's one thing that happens. And here's one thing that happens. Let's say the market rate here dropped to 90 cents. Or, let's say it didn't drop. Let's say over time, just from this collateral, like getting locked up and stuff, and people putting in more collateral at a higher price than the market because it was more economical. Let's say the stability pool is going to give you $1.20 for any of the Genius that you give it. So you have Genius, you have liquid Genius, and the stability pool, where it once tells you, hey, here's how much you can buy Genius from the pool, it also tells you, here's how much you can sell your Genius to the pool, and here's how much you'll get. So if you run into a situation where the stability pool is offering you $1.20, like let's say the collateral in the stability pool is US dollar coin, where you're going to get $1.20 per Genius, and the market price of Genius, let's say, is still at $1.05. Well, this incentivizes people to buy on the open market, which will add buying pressure to the open market, to gain from that arbitrage of selling into the stability pool, of settling other people's Genius debt in the stability pool. All right, so how does the price of the stability pool raise, though? That's the cool part. So, when you settle debt on the stability pool, you pay a small fee. The miners, in fact, the people who got a better deal for mining, they pay a fee as well. And this fee, where does it go to? The fee doesn't go to the origin address. The fee doesn't go to what we call the origin address beneficiary. The fee stays in the stability pool. So effectively, from that fee staying in the stability pool, let's say the fee was 1.6%, the price that is being offered to other people for any unsettled debt has now climbed 1.6%. So wherever the market is, the stability pool's price is rising because of this. Now it'd be great to give this fee to the miners, right? But no, this fee is internally there, is in the stability pool, not given to miners, but instead to give miners and other people, you know, liquidity that, you know, they can sell in the open market, but they can also get a definitive amount from the liquidity pool. There's a lot of fundamentals in the stability pool. So like, and this collateral, by the way, is just locked in there. This collateral isn't actually used for anything other than to back the value of Genius. And so, you know, remember with collateral miners, you can't end early. But with collateral miners, you know, remember there's things that people can run into with, like, you know, late ending fees. There's you know, there's things that can eat into that collateral for that user. If a user pays late fees, the late fees first come out of the collateral, which really means that when they end their miner, they'll get a little less collateral than they would have gotten before, but that little less, that difference, remains in the stability pool, thus pumping the price the stability pool offers people to settle the Genius debt. And for people with liquid Genius, they can do that right away. They can get an arbitrage opportunity. You know, after all, if you have 1 million Genius and you can sell it to the stability pool, you could rebuy it from the open market, and maybe you have a 1.1 million Genius. So this is a cool tactic. Most Genius users are probably going to be locked into miners because of the huge incentive. So what this does is this is something that will incentivize open market buying pressure. It will also incentivize people to use their collateral. And this is great for people who, let's say there's people out there who they don't believe in Genius's tokenomics. You know, they're US dollar maxis, so they use US dollar coin. They're really, you know, when you have a large chunk of money, you're gonna want to use, when you're a whale, you're gonna want to use things that have a lot more battle-tested code, right? So, yeah. So the stability pool is completely decentralized, by the way. Of course, it's part of the Genius Smart financial contract. Yeah, so one more fundamental that I don't think is going to make sense verbally, but I'll try telling it to you. I mean, there's a lot more about the stability pool. But so the public can always settle Genius debt on behalf of these Genius miners. So, you know, if you get a Genius miner, you're happy because you got a better deal. You're also happy because when you get your principal back, you get the collateral minus a small fee, and you get your Genius performance rewards, the ROI. You know, so for people that want to live in safe US dollar coin world, this is an excellent option. However, with Genius's performance, you might not get your collateral in the end. But the one thing that you are guaranteed to get by using the stability pool, one thing you're guaranteed to get is a better deal than you would have gotten by purchasing directly from the open market. Does this mean it's going to replace the open market? Definitely not. The stability pool's algorithm, works to, the intention behind algorithms is to promote purchasing activity, is to promote buying pressure on the open market, while also backing the value of Genius via another collateral. Okay, so with your Genius miner, your collateral miner, as people from the public choose to pay off your Genius debt for you, what you have is you end up having like a percentage of your debt that's already paid. And that's cool. You know, you don't have to pay that when you end the miner. You get the collateral instead, or or whatever. I gotta think a little bit. So